podcast.
Fuck. Okay.
I bet a lot of people in the world doubted it. There be an episode 2, baby. Let's go.
I am allowed to say bad words, right?
Oh yeah.
No, this is a completely rated R podcast.
Rated R. Okay. Well. So.
Wait, what? M rated?
You guys said that you wanted pure uncut Swantron, which is never a good idea.
I gotta introduce everybody real quick before we.
Everyone fucking knows who we
All
are.
right.
It's me, Chumpy, and Hunter.
All right, it's me, Chumpy. I am your host. With me is my co-host Hunter Unit.
This better be a good introduction
Joining
I'm about
us
to
today,
get.
Joining us today is Swantron Unfiltered 97.
Legendary Halo Jumper Swantron.
Legendary Halo Jumper, who is
And
very good
Master
at the
Swordsman.
floating steps.
Master Swordsman.
Yep.
Master Swordsman? Yeah.
There
The only
was some
person to
fucking
be-
Halo wiki where I had a fucking page on it, and I went and I changed it so it said Swantron 97 is an American Halo trick jumper and a Master Swordsman. And I'm pretty sure it's still like that. And like I've actually had some kids like ask me if I actually am a Master Swordsman. And of course I told them yes.
That's funny.
Because I am.
Oh yeah, right.
I've watched enough
right.
I've watched enough like Star Wars and like movies with sword fights in them. I claim I'm a good swordsman. You pick it
Yeah,
up,
dude.
you learn it.
I play Dungeons and Dragons, man. I know. I fucking.
You see,
have
I
a
didn't
+7.
play that.
I have a +7. +7's pretty good, man.
No, I actually have a sword of my own.
Oh yeah, dude. I have
Sword?
a fucking pawn
I was
shop
trying
katana,
to-
man.
I was trying to make a dick joke. I'm not gonna lie.
All right. Anyway,
disclosure.
yeah, you guys wanted
Speaking of
unfiltered
dicks.
Swan, which, like I said, is a bad idea.
Speaking of dick, Swan's here today.
It is a bad idea to ask for unfiltered Swan because, believe it or not, I actually have a filter most of the time I talk in jumping parties.
Yeah.
You know, I
Did you have a filter a solid 20 minutes ago?
believe it or not, yeah, just a little bit.
Oh no.
I did get in the mood though. I don't know what came over me. I was just kind of sitting there and I was like, I got some shit I want to say, and so I said it. And I kind of got
For anybody
everybody.
For anybody who wasn't in the party a solid 15 minutes ago, we watched as me, Swan, and Puma very argumentatively debated Halo jumping community, which including calling each other names like pussy and bitch.
Fuck yeah.
You know, like real men.
Remember
right,
last
right,
night?
Swan?
Remember last night when I said that you had the intelligence oh no, I said you had the vocabulary of a Tamagotchi? That was a good one.
You did say that. Yeah, that was awesome.
Let's just immortalize
feel
that
like-
in video.
I feel like me and Swan have a very weird friendship where we just bully each other. Except you bully me more than I bully you.
I wouldn't say you've ever bullied me, Chumpy.
I try to make fun of you, and you make fun of me back.
That's honestly how a lot of my friendships are with people. I have very few friends that I don't really do that with.
I feel like the difference between me and you, though, and like most of the other people in jumping is I don't really take it personally when you do that shit. I just kind of know, yeah, that's Swan.
And
When
I'm
it comes
by
from
far the
Swan.
meanest to you.
Oh, right now, yeah, you are. There was a time, though, where Strafe was the person you were meanest to.
Well, everyone gets
For
on
that
my
time.
fucking dick whenever I'm mean to Strafe now. I guess I've just bullied him for so long that people are like, alright, dude, chill
Hey,
out."
you scared Strafe out of the Discord last week or whenever he left.
Well, he said some fucking dumb shit, dude. I don't know what to fucking tell you. He came up and he said some fucking dumb shit. Like,
He said some dumb shit like yesterday that I called him out for that Chumpy noticed.
Yeah, I said uh-oh because I was like, uh-oh, jump beef, that's not children. Uh-oh.
Raggy. No,
It's
Yeah,
not-
You say
fucking-
you have a. I was gonna say you say you have a filter. Could you give it to Strafe? Because my God, he needs to learn.
well, you know what pisses me the fuck off about Strafe is he whined and cried about how mean everybody was to him in jumping for a long time. And you know what? Granted, we were pretty fucking mean to Strafe. But then he's gonna sit
Remember,
there
he's
and
from
like say
Minnesota.
sometimes almost word for word the same shit that was said to him years ago. And it's like, fuck you, kid. Like, you had such a fucking issue with it when you were on that end of it, but now you want to sit there and fucking... And everyone sits there...
I feel like-
Everyone sits there and they fucking say, like, oh, well, all the kids who used to get the treatment back in the day are just giving it back to the new kids. And they're saying that as if, like, that makes it okay. It's like, well, you know what? If we're so okay with Strafe fucking doing that, then I'm just gonna go back to, like, fucking 2017 Swan, and I'm just gonna really fucking bust on some of these kids, alright? I'm gonna do it until I get fucking kicked out of the community, then I'm gonna call you all hypocrites.
That's what works me up, is that they do that, and it's like... that. I gotta be honest with you, when they say the new kids do that, I like to think that they're not speaking for everybody. I like to think I'm not like that anymore. I don't get as... besides 15 minutes ago, obviously, I don't really get worked up about jumping anymore as much as I really used to. Like, the only time I got worked up at somebody recently was Flame, but it wasn't even for me, it was for Sonic, more or less.
Did we
You know
talk
what I
about... Oh
mean?
no, we sort of touched on it last week, didn't we? But I don't think we actually talked about the Flame
Oh yeah,
thing.
Flame's a fucking dickhead. His course is whatever, but he's a fucking dickhead.
I think his course is better than your course, I'm sorry.
It could be better than me. It doesn't mean he has to be a dickhead.
Oh yeah, Flame's a total fucking dickhead. Like, Flame is... Like, with me, when I'm a dickhead, I at least, you know, like, I have the charisma to carry it through, and people are like, you know, it's Swan. Flame has no fucking charisma, and he's always just a dick for no fucking reason, and he's a genuinely unpleasant person to talk to.
I agree. And I get he's had, like, some rough things with, like, family and stuff recently.
Everyone's had rough things.
Life.
Everybody has a fucking life right now. Everybody's going through their own shitty things. You don't need to bring that into an Xbox Live party.
Hey, at least he's not saying the N-word.
I think he's...
At least he isn't saying the N-word. That's true.
I think he shared a childhood with, like, Oliver Twist or something. Like, some orphan that's carried through into his adult life. Oh, well, his young adult life. How old is Flame now?
He's the same age as me, I think. I think he's like 2 days older.
Well, he
than
still
me.
acts like a
Something
fucking
that.
14-year-old.
He's still I
If
feel like I've
anything,
at least
I would
showed-
say that Flame was easier to tolerate when he was 14, and just, like, constantly making Trump jokes.
Yeah,
the Trump
it's so
days.
weird right now. It's so weird. Jumping's in such a weird spot right now of, like, people complaining and beefing and shit.
It's
not the
always,
same.
It's always been like that, dude.
I mean, people have always been getting upset at each other and shit. It's just weird right now.
Honestly, I feel like Jump Beef honestly actually wasn't always like this until I showed up. I've probably been a fucking detriment to the community. I have most definitely made this community a much worse place, and...
Abs is both a blessing and a curse, ladies and gentlemen. And I know
Yeah,
we're
I-
going to bring up Abs.
I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't a little bit proud of it, you know, just like, hell yeah.
I feel
I'm
like
proud
Swan
of it
had a bit
too.
of a not all the time, but I feel like there were a lot of cases where Swan had a filter on Abs though.
Yeah.
think so?
Oh, yeah.
I know in Abs Swan was like at least semi decent to me, but there's like shit that Swan just held back from saying in Abs.
Well, in Abs, there was always, well, with you, Chumpy, it's you actually put up good runs sometimes, and we kind of had a policy in Abs of, like, if you put up good runs, we're going to talk about how good your run is. Like,
Right.
like we'll give credit where it's due. We'll talk about how Chumpy actually puts up good runs.
Swan,
But then-
you on the map?
Yeah.
Come to
I don't know
stage 3 and look at me.
Yeah, no, I feel like, yeah, you could have been a lot worse to me on Abs. That we'll say that much.
I'm I'm on the first obstacle. You might be able to see me sticking out. I can see you.
What are you
Do
doing?
you see that sideways mongoose?
Jesus Christ.
I'm sideways, but I'm like level enough that I'm not dismounting, but I can't move, so I'm literally stuck.
For anybody who's watching
Well,
from
it's-
my queue, which
it's
is not in that
3:25
lobby, they're having a
PM.
great time listening to this
It's,
Yeah, sorry.
podcast right now.
It's 3:25 p.m. and I am about to start drinking.
Excellent.
Hey, drunk Swan, let's go.
I ain't gonna get drunk.
Crunktron 97 is in the shit, boys.
I ain't gonna get drunk. I'm just gonna get a nice little like loose buzz going. No,
Crunktron.
so who do you guys want me to shit on here?
I feel like there's a lot of people we can shit on.
And
Today.
then-
I feel like jumping.
You gotta ask me
I feel like a
questions.
lot of jumpers are in a very shit-onable place right
Let's
now.
let's
you're
just
supposed to be
let's just
interviewing
bring up
me.
the jump beef. Let's just bring up this. I want to say something about jump beef actually, because I agree. Like none of this, as an old man, as back in my day, you used to get like cocky little bitches. Like the most cocky person I can think of in the 360 days was like Pixel, and that wasn't even he wasn't even that bad.
Compared to some kids right
What,
now.
what about Weapon Matt?
Well, Matt was yeah, but
he
that
ain't
wasn't
come till-
360 though. So
Yeah, he
Oh.
was Xbox One. I think that yeah, no, Pixel. I was around for a little bit of Pixel on like Xbox One, and he is nothing like the kids right now. Oh my god, the kids right now are bad.
I'm actually documented with like not being good with Pixel.
oh really?
Right, really?
Me and
Oh, dude, have you
me
seen
and him have a pretty documented beef.
Pixel?
Do you?
Have you seen pictures of Pixel recently, Swan? Do you have him on Snapchat?
Yeah, he's like buff now. He could probably
He could
he could
kick
probably
your
beat
ass.
me up. Yeah. Um,
He could kick your ass.
no, but no, it all started from the whole thing with Spartan Sasuke 6.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because me
My
and him were-
contacts fell out.
Me and him were actually friends before that, and then I got him in trouble, and because he was doing some bullshit, and then he had problems with it, so he went around telling everybody that I was a bitch, and so I kind of cornered him in a party one day, and I fucking lit him up, and then I made everybody laugh at him, and he kind of fucked off. So sorry to any Pixel
You know, I think
Project fans out
I
there.
think me and Smokey are the only people who have gotten him to do runs recently. Like I had him run like my 12 or something like that.
Well, I think he still ran abs here and there.
He although it's not come
No,
out
he
yet.
did not run abs. Pretended that he ran abs.
He
Pretty sure. Could be wrong. Got full disclosure.
It's not come out yet, but he's in my T22, and that was obviously in like 2020. I mean, he did like Smokey's like T23 or something, and that was like 2021 or something. That was only early last year.
Hunter, your fucking backlog is just like depressing.
It just keeps compiling.
Like just hire one of these fucking Roblox kids to edit your tournament for you, get it out. You
Oh,
don't have to
God.
worry about it. Yeah, that's right. I know you don't like when people bring it up, but I'm gonna bring up your backlog. Where's Ninja Warrior of Halo? Where is it?
We did pick up on it. Yes, we did pick up on this last week. Look, I'm going away on holiday next week, and one of the things I'm doing is like getting some proper editing done whilst I'm on holiday.
So while he's on break from actual work, he's gonna do work on this tournament.
So why is this called the Bald Podcast? Who's bald?
Me, I got my hair shaved for this, and nobody else did.
Me too. Yeah, me too. I actually got shaved yesterday.
Dude, I had a weird fucking dream last night that I had a receding hairline. I don't know what the significance of that is.
Nightmare. The nightmare. Oh no, it keeps receding.
And then I woke up and I still had like my fucking, wild fucking Tangle Grove hair that grows in different directions. I was like, all right, good.
Alright.
Oh, dude.
Alright, Swan, what's your... Wait, no, go for it.
Oh, I was just gonna say I have a mustache now.
Right.
Fuck
Hey,
yeah, dude.
mustache.
We are
Dude,
living-
I can't grow those.
Dude, it took me a long time. I'm 24 and this is my first mustache. And
Dude, I have an inability to grow facial hair. Like, it just hasn't started that process yet.
rest in peace, Jumpy.
Dude,
Anyway, what
I'm
was your
18.
question you were
That
gonna
shit should have started. And it doesn't. And it makes me so very
Mine didn't
upset.
really
I was
start
gonna
yet
ask...
until I was in my early 20s.
I was gonna ask, what's your opinion on the Jump Beef trio? That is Super Ninja Jake, Caden, Tricky Cyrus. That trio. What's your thoughts?
So
Because they're clearly the only people who start consistent Jump Beef anymore.
Well, I haven't really talked much with Tricky Cyrus. He's run a couple of my courses. Of course, he just had that big total victory, so congrats to him. But Ninja Jake and Caden, you know, I'll be honest. Oh, okay, you know what? I actually do like playing Fall Guys with Jake, but other than that, those kids can go fuck themselves. They are the most annoying fucking people. It's like, oh my god. Chumpy, I remember when you used to always start
Remember
Jump
when
Beef?
we were in the party and he said he was gonna fucking like rape him or some shit?
Okay, you know what? Full disclosure, he didn't actually say that. I kind of twisted his words to make it seem like he said that.
Oh,
And I'm
you
just
fucker.
actually an awful person.
Really?
Well, he said something like he was saying something about like bullying Caden, and I was kind of like, you know, calling him out for that. I was like, well, why do you bully Caden? And then Jake was like, oh, Caden just doesn't like when I say all that sexual stuff to him. And then I'm like, what? And he's like, uh-oh, I shouldn't have said that. So then I kind of went from there.
No, I
You
know
can see how I
exactly-
made that easy jump.
I feel like a solid 90% of the community at this point know exactly what Jake's talking about when he says that sexual stuff, because literally Caden and Drew TV filtered it into the entire fucking Discord for everyone to see it.
Don't
No,
like
but-
Caden.
Nobody took it.
I will say,
It
Chumpy,
just got annoying.
Chumpy, back when you were always causing jump beef, I said something to you, and this is still true. I said, it's really annoying that you're the one causing jump beef because your jump beef is boring and annoying.
It is.
Like,
No,
if there's
this
going to be
beef
some jump
is-
beef, like, at least make it entertaining. But it's like, no, dude, fucking Caden and Ninja Jake, it's like fucking boring. Like, what the fuck do I care that some fucking Roblox kids are mad at each other and like they're all saying the N-word to each other? Like, who the fuck cares? All right, like I just really don't give a
Not
shit.
entertaining.
It's like
Yeah.
I want something spicy. Like I want
Like 20 minutes ago.
that was pretty good. No, but I want like I want like Hunter versus Rog. I want
Oh, God.
Smokey versus Ump. I want fucking Puma versus Avows the Samurai. All right, that's what I fucking want.
Avow's the sound. What?
I don't know. He would just be an interesting
did
person to
Avows come
see.
from?
He would just be an interesting person to see wrapped up in jump beef. No, but
I
it's
don't think
like
I've ever heard Avow's ever get pissed off at anything ever.
Oh no! Remember that one time I changed my game?
Oh yeah, no,
and
sorry,
got
yeah, that's the
upset?
one time I've seen Avow's get angry, and it was really confusing.
I
like
was
El
lost because I
Chumpy
was
or
like, dude, Avows doesn't get upset. Is he being real?
you changed it to what, like Senor Chumpy?
Yeah, some.
And he
dumb
didn't
shit
like that. He
Is,
didn't
is
like
he
that.
is he Mexican or something?
He
I
might
think
be.
so. Yeah.
I
So I
kinda
changed
get
it
it.
back. I spent the money to change it back because that was, yeah. I felt bad because it's
It's the same as
Avows
when
and
I
he
see.
doesn't get
It's the same as when I
caught
see
up in
Irish put a message in the Discord with an exclamation point on the end. I was like, "Whoa, Irish! Don't see this from you very often."
Oh no, Irish gets more worked up than people like to give him credit.
Dude,
for.
Irish. Look, I love Irish.
I love
But,
Irish.
but you
Don't
guys
get
wanted
anything
no
wrong. Don't get
filter, so
twisted.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Irish
We're covering
is probably
everybody,
the
aren't
biggest fucking pussy in Halo jumping.
What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Cool.
He gets so fucking mad over the dumbest fucking shit, and every time you fucking deal with him, you have to sit there and walk on fucking eggshells, or else he's gonna cry a fucking puddle of tears. And it's like, I don't have the fucking patience for it. He cries and whines about everything, and then he always has this fucking nice guy act, and then all of a sudden he fucking comes out of nowhere with some fucking roid rage. I like Irish.
Does he?
I like Irish, but
You ever played Madden with Irish?
yeah, I guess that's, I guess me and Irish probably aren't going to be friends anymore after he watches this. Sorry, Irish.
This
They
is
wanted-
unfiltered Swan, so this shouldn't
Yeah,
be
they-
taken as canon.
Yeah.
So don't
yeah,
worry.
all this is not canon. It
This
doesn't.
is- this
it's
is
going to be
all
explained in the
jump lore.
books. But no, yeah,
This is all
I'm gonna
jump lore.
fucking, I'm gonna
This
fucking
is a part
shoot
of
on
Swan's
anybody right
character
now.
development. This is a
I've-
part of Swan's character.
I've been
development.
drinking a little bit. I'm gonna fucking shoot on anybody. So just fucking be ready.
Alright.
I'm gonna spice your podcast the fuck up.
I actually have been writing a list of names. And
my
basically, what I'm gonna do
Let's have it.
is I'm gonna ask.
Are we
for-
doing
for
lightning
your
round, or
opinion
do we
on-
want to go in depth?
Like, you can go in depth. There's no speed comp to it. I just have names.
All right, give me some names.
Flamosaurus.
fucking
we've already covered
gonna
that.
die alone. Flame's gonna fucking die alone because he has no fucking personality and he's just a dick to everybody. The only defining trait that Flame has is that he's a fucking piece of shit. Move on.
Next.
Next, Stray Felix.
We've already covered
The
him.
most fucking possibly annoying person. When God sat up in heaven, he was making people. He had an art project where he was like, I'm going to craft the most annoying people. The most annoying person. So he made someone who was fucking stupid, had an annoying voice, looked dumb, acted dumb, got on everybody's nerves, and it seems like he does it on purpose, but you know he's not smart enough to be able to craft that sort of maneuver. Anyway, next.
Halo fan.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
It's you know that one guy who just joins our party and just fucking lurks?
He's in your
Good.
abs party right
Doesn't
now. He's in your
actually
abs
say
game
anything.
lobby
He's
right
in
now.
the other party.
Or he was
Seems
right now.
harmless. He hasn't said anything to me. Never had a conversation with him.
Well, yeah, no, he hasn't said anything to anybody.
He's
It's
not
kinda
got a
weird.
mic.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
I'm sure that if
I
he
know.
did get a mic, it would be the fucking Stray for Joey complex, where they just turn into the most annoying person on jumping.
Hey,
Anyway, next.
remember when you liked Strafe and all these other people when they didn't have a mic?
Right,
And then they got a
because
mic.
it's easy to assume the best and fill in the blanks that they're gonna be like decent fucking people, but no, fucking,
Is there ever
fucking
been-
Strafe.
I was gonna say,
Strafe
has there
could
ever
die
been
in
a
a fucking
person
house
who-
fire and I wouldn't care.
Is there anybody who ever joined that, and when they initially joined, they didn't have a mic, and then when they got a mic, they actually turned out to be a pretty cool person? Anybody at all?
Hold on. I think that there actually is one. Well, Demi.
I don't know. Demi started speaking a little bit recently, and he's alright.
I like Demi. He's
Demi's
funny.
cool.
He's funny.
Alright, on this list, are we moving on?
Yeah, we're moving
We
on.
get our strafe taken. Alright, I have what I like to call a timeout from shit-talking people, because I have Petrillo on here.
Petrillo's just a nice fucking dude.
Nobody can hate.
Petrillo, you know, Petrillo is a rare type of guy. You don't very often in your life meet people who are just genuinely nice people. Not people who like
Right.
act like they're nice, like a fucking Irish or a Puma, who like act nice, but like they have like these fucking deep down anger issues. Fucking Petrillo is just a nice fucking dude who just wants to be nice to people and wants people to be nice to him. And God fucking bless Petrillo.
And then for some reason, there's a few. I feel like there's a few people who, for some reason, can't fucking stand Pedro, and it pisses me off.
Who?
Matt pisses me off about it. He's so obvious he just can't stand the kindness.
We
of
covered
Petrillo.
this in
It's
last.
too
We
nice.
covered this in last week's as well.
He's too nice.
Well, I don't know.
Matt
I
sort
think-
of
I
eggs,
think- I think
Matt
Matt's
eggs
complaint-
Petrillo on. Is
I've met enough awful people in my life that when I meet someone who's actually nice like that, I just appreciate the fuck out of it. Because I have been around so many fucking awful people in my life.
Yeah. Next on this list, I have RPG 445, role-playing Garchomp. That guy.
You may be familiar with him.
Mr. Worldwide. Me saying his name gets me a couple extra views from the Roblox kids.
Wrong.
This could be a long one. Let's sit down.
Rog's in a weird spot, I feel.
This is
He
this,
doesn't
this
say
is
anything.
so me and Rog have a lot of history. We go way back.
Obviously.
He was probably the first friend that I made on Xbox, like in jumping. That being said, I don't know how much of friends me and Rog are anymore, and I think that's partially because he's come to, on some level, dislike me and kind of my nature in the way that I have a big fucking mouth. And I think part of it is that I have some issues with him. I think that, you know, after everything Rog went through at the hands of a hunter unit here, the jump wars, as we like to call it, where
Jumping Civil War.
Rog really had to fight tooth and nail to get
Earn
any
his place.
respect for him or his course. And I don't know, you know, it's like here's the way I see it. And I know that this might be slightly a dumb way to think about it, but it's like back in the day, and Hunter can back me up on this, me and Ump were like the biggest flag wavers of Spartan Sasuke that there were, right?
Yeah, no, I remember that.
Yeah, like me and Ump were really fucking like, you know, like just waving the flag. We were fighting with Rog to try to get his course to be recognized. And then after all of that, after years of bullshit, after years of, you know, fighting with Great Britain as a country, we fucking, you know, like Rog got there. And Spartan Sasuke began to become an established major course that's respected. And I'm not saying it's because of me and Ump. I'm saying that Ump especially had something to do with the internal recognition of it. But it's like, I feel like at a point, Rog completely 180'd. Like, he got up there onto the platform full of the guys who were trying to push him off that platform. And then as soon as Rog got onto that platform, he turned around and started trying to push everybody off his platform. Does that make any sense? I
agree.
I feel like Rog turned into his worst enemy, where, especially for a while, you know, like, he would sit there and he would go and he would bust on people, he'd bust on their courses, he would talk all this fucking shit. What the fuck is happening right now? And it's just, I've always taken great issue with that. I think it's hypocritical, and I think that, you know, I called him out earlier. I said, Rog, like, you said yourself that at one point your course was exactly where all these minor courses are now. So why the fuck do I never see Rog go to bat for the minor courses? Why do I never see Rog step up to the plate when people start talking shit on the minor courses and take some fucking swings and say, and like fucking defend these guys? Do you know how far that would go to have someone like Rog fucking defend a Halo Sasuke or an Irish Warrior? Do you know how fucking far that would go? And I could say that about you too, Hunter. Like, do you know how far it would go?
To that.
You know how far it would go for either of you guys, or even in Smokey and, you know, those guys to like endorse these courses? Like, it could do a lot not only for their course but for the community. Like, it could be something really great, but I think a lot of people want things to stay the way that they have always been. And the way that things have always been, there have only been a few courses, not a whole bunch. What's your answer, Hunter?
I was going to say, I can give you a pretty simple reason why Rog doesn't do it, aside from what you think is the obvious, and that's just his personality. He's not the kind of guy he's not like a you or which is kind of obvious if you've ever spoken to Rog. He's not, you know, a forward, like, kind of, hey, fuck you, this course is good, you know, stop shitting on this course.
He doesn't have to do that. He's just gotta, you know, like, if someone's out there and they're like saying, oh, this course is shit, Rog, he doesn't have to be like, fuck you, and like get all confrontational. He can just be like, actually, I think that this is a very good course. That's all it would take. But I've seen Rog be silent in those situations many times, and I personally take issue with that.
Well, I think the problem with that, and even like, I mean, I'd like to think that on some levels, maybe it's not like publicly, like, it's not put in the Discord for everyone to see, but like, if someone was shitting on someone else's course and I was in the party and if it was getting really bad, I'd say something. Well, I might tell them to shut up, but I might also actually say something in defense of the course. Rog might not say anything, but like, again, that's just maybe because it's not because he doesn't want this said course to not do well, it's just because he's not the kind of person to go and bat for another person's course, whether it's because, like, you know, he's got whatever his life is and whatever his job is, and like when he does get on Xbox, he just wants to chill and not like get into.
I will
whatever
say,
it is,
I think
whatever it is, it's just like, after everything he went through, I figured that maybe he could spare the occasional fucking word, you know, like just every once in a while, like, because if the older if the people who had been running these tournaments for a long time, like, offered some support and maybe some advice, impart some wisdom, like, you could really help these kids who are trying to do the same thing that you're trying to do. And, full disclosure, I think the same thing about you, Hunter. It's like, I think that you guys could really make a difference there, and I think that you guys either just, don't care to, or you don't want to. Hold on, let me explain that. Whatever.
Okay. I think that with Rog, it's like, obviously he doesn't do that. But I feel like as far as, this is just for my course, this is my experience with Rog as a competitor. He's one of the only people I know that isn't like the Petrillos or the Joeys of the world that actually goes and like practices maps and stuff like that and takes them somewhat seriously. And I feel like that goes a long way.
I think the whole giving advice side of thing is something that really doesn't exist all that much in Halo jumping, and it's not just.
People don't like to help each other in Halo
I don't
jumping.
think it's, but I don't think it's like the biggest guys at the top should be doing this problem. I think it's just a case of like everyone wants to do their own thing. Like if someone asks for help, maybe you might get someone. Like I've definitely seen Rog give like Forge tips to somebody. I can't think who. But it's not very often. Like, isn't there like a page in the Discord that's like Forge ideas or something? And like
yeah,
nobody
but it's
ever.
just full of like the fucking kids, like whatever the fuck they're doing.
There's
No,
no,
it's
yeah.
like-
There's no like. Your bloody like that Swan Dojo training most basic jumps video thing is like one of the few like actual jumping to do teaching things
Hang
that's
on,
out
I
there.
just want to get sidetracked. I think Matt's been watching the stream because he says, I don't think you should upload this podcast, LMAO.
Oof. Yeah, Chumpy.
I'm going to.
Well, I do honestly want you to consider the possible repercussions of some of the things that I've said getting up there onto your YouTube channel.
I don't care.
Hello, Matt. I'm sure that you're coming up soon on the list, and I'll be sure to let you know everything about it.
People,
But it's like,
I just think people like to do their own thing, and like I don't go out of my way to not help somebody. It's just one of those things where, like, from my point of view, I've fucking worked such long hours in a day, like in the week, and when I do get on, I've like this weekend, is this my last weekend before I go on holiday? I've got a shit ton of stuff I want to get done before I go.
Well,
I've got to run Rog's course before I
here's the thing:
leave.
is I think that it's better than it used to be. I think that when all these minor courses were first starting, like there were people, I think including you, who were like in parties sitting there being like, oh, well, who gives a fuck about these minor courses? I'm too good to run the minor courses, Like, there is that mindset, and I think it's gotten better, and I think it needs to continue to get better. And I think that for it to continue to get better, some of the bigger people in the jumping community have to step up to that, which is something that I've tried to do. I've tried to kind of, step up and, like, sometimes give the hosts a little bit of tough love, sometimes give them some advice, sometimes give them some praise, give them some criticism. And
I think one of the hardest things as a host to get in this community is just like decent criticism that isn't an insult.
Well, a lot of the criticism.
And I remember one day whenever I was in the Discord, I had just finished my T14. I put in the chat, please give me editing tips. I am looking for it. Anything you feel that should be improved. And nobody gave me shit.
I did. I gave you. Sorry, nobody gave you shit, or nobody gave you.
Nobody gave me shit. Yeah, no.
Oh wait, hang on. Wasn't
Nobody
this?
gave me not really anybody gave me editing advice except for the select few. Like I think Connor did.
I said.
In my
said
defense,
turn
I
up
was
the
not in the
audio
Discord
on
at the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think I said turn up the audio on your interviews because I couldn't hear a word of the interviews.
That was a. I feel like that was a.
And then Joey popped in and said a word.
And then Joey started saying the N-word, and then he got banned, and then it happened all in my chat, annoyingly enough.
Yeah, that happened right before I kind of showed up back in the Discord.
Yeah.
That was at the end of another one of my nomad periods.
You know what? Speaking of Joey, I'm looking at my list here.
We'll
That's
get to
next
it. I do want to say a couple things about Rog. No, I like Rog a lot, and me and Rog have been friends for a long time, and I feel like to some degree I still have a connection with Rog, and I want to be friends with him. I have my issues with him, just like I have issues with everybody, but I do like Rog, and I think he's a good guy.
Let me
He
put it
just
this
pisses me
way:
the
he
fuck
doesn't,
off
he doesn't,
sometimes.
he doesn't send you messages in the middle of the night about stuff on his mind anymore.
No,
So I
not
know he
anymore.
used to. Like you sent like I don't know if it was Facebook messages or whatever it was.
YouTube messages, weirdly enough.
Really?
He used to send.
I think you can
Had
even do
messages?
that anymore.
He used to send me YouTube messages. Yeah.
I forgot YouTube.
No,
had
but me and
messages.
Rog were really good friends because like he was like the first friend that I made in the community, and I was one of the first. I don't know who his first friend in the community was, but I know I was earlier along the line for that. So
It definitely helps when like he's a new course, he's trying to build up, and he's got a guy that's a new competitor that's really like. If you think like how many of these new guys, let's just take let's just take Cyrus as an example, but there's like tons of people. All these new courses that have started in the last 2 years, as well as like it being coverage of Halo jumping as a whole, it has given a huge fucking platform for so many of these people to actually show off their skills, improve their skills, actually show themselves off as a jumper. And I think Rog's course for you was that course when you were starting out in
I mean, I've
early
said
Halo
to people
5.
before. I've said to people before, and I don't mind saying it here. Like I pretty much all of the recognition I ever got for being a jumper, I pretty much owe like 90% of that to Rog, because like when I was at my best, like I think a lot of people don't know how good of a jumper I used to be. Because when I was at my best, the only thing for me to fucking do was Spartan Sasuke. Like, it was so much of a wasteland. At one point, there was this kid who wanted to run a course, so I built him a fucking course to run just so I could fucking compete on it.
Was that Sparkity?
Yeah, that was fucking Sparky. And
Oh, dude.
and I literally just, like, that's how badly I wanted something to fucking compete on.
Oh my god, dude. Sparkity. Back in the day. Remember Sparkity?
He hosted a course, didn't he? Very brief. I remember
Yeah,
he
that's
hosted
what I was
a
just
course.
talking about.
Oh, yeah, sorry, he hosted that course. I remember I got like deep
It was called
stage.
Halo Sasuke.
Oh, was it? Huh.
Yeah.
I remember I
Kinda
got
awkward.
one of his tournaments. I don't know if it was tournament 1. I can remember getting like deep into stage 3 on it, and like I failed some bullshit obstacle.
Chumpy,
no.
I still think that your first tournament was built off the ruins of Keek's Halo Sasuke.
It wasn't actually.
I still believe that. It looks too
I
similar.
mean, it was. Well, I guess me and your forging are similar after all, Swan.
Don't you ever fucking insult me like that again, you fucking...
I used to think the same thing about Rog's forging when he started, but that's a
Oh
different
yeah,
joke.
well that's because half of his obstacles when he started used to be your old obstacles. Right?
How long into this video until I'm gonna bring up the copy strike harder?
We're gonna you've mentioned it like twice already. At some point, we're gonna probably discuss it. I imagine. There's some controversies that will remain hidden. Like I think you brought up the verses earlier. We're not gonna cover all of them. But
No.
there's one in particular that we're definitely not going to cover, but there's a couple of others that are almost likely not going to get covered. But we will cover ROG a bit later. I'm happy to talk about it.
Why is Discord getting blown up right now? Am I gonna get
Is
a
it?
live
Let's have a
reaction
look.
Booker
to Discord?
Taco. Oh, freaking Dan's doing his fucking bullshit Ninja League.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, is he actually
Starting
running
it up again. This is like his 10th time this week that he said he's doing it. But whatever.
Okay, I think that's a bit of an exaggeration.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of hyperbole, but whatever. Anyways, Joey's the next name on my list. I'm assuming we're moved on from Rock.
Yeah, shall we move? Yeah.
So Joey, see, this one is like, I don't really feel like talking. Hold on, I just wanted to talk about something that just happened in the Discord. So I was giving this Alex Zombie kid a hard time, and I was telling him to leave the Swan channel because I don't like him. And then fucking Halo Spartan 19 comes in with no context and types in, "Yo, you're cool." And then Alex Zombie says, "Thank you." And then Halo Spartan says, "I was talking to Swantron, bro."
Just open it.
Then Alex Zombie's just like, "Oh,
That's quite funny.
oh my god, that's
Oh,
fucking
that's
great."
awkward.
I can't
Okay,
stand
when
that
did-
fucking Alex Zombie kid. I
Yeah,
can't
when
fucking
did
stand
I
him.
can remember Alex Zombie from 3 years ago when it used to be cool to call him the pain from Spain or just the pain train, the Spain train, whatever he was called. And now he's come
It's the
back
King
and
from
has
Spain.
yeah, and now he's learned English or learned how to type English, and
Ugh.
like he's
Not
yeah
well.
no, I don't get it.
Dude, he
What
sucks.
was the thing you
He
said that
fucking
I was
sucks.
laughing at earlier? Something about Joey being racist.
I don't know.
Joey's not
Joey.
racist. Okay, so the whole Joey
We can
thing
cover-
is.
I gotta find it.
I don't want to talk about this for too long because everybody's been talking about this for a long time, but okay.
Past 2 months.
Joey did some dumb shit and said some dumb shit in the Discord. Since then, it has been open season on Joey, and all these kids have been going and fucking headhunting the shit out of Joey, especially Sonic. And it's, you know, Joey knows that he shouldn't have fucking did that, and Joey, you know, it's like, look, when I was Joey's age, I did that shit too. A lot of people did. And then when we got older, we realized it was fucking dumb and that we never should have done it. Alright?
Right.
So it's like, yeah, Joey fucked up. And I think that he should have consequence for that. But it's like, at the same time, like, let him learn his lesson instead of just, like, fucking beating the shit out of him every single time you get the opportunity.
I feel like he definitely like screwed up. Like that's something that can't be, denied. He said
Yeah,
He screwed
dumb
up.
shit.
To everybody,
He made a mistake.
to everybody
But
who's
at
watching
no
this,
point-
leave Joey the fuck alone. Like,
At no point did I think it was gonna get to the extent that it's gone to, and that's why. If I ran a tournament before I left for college, Joey was going to be unbanned.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Joey got it really, really tough.
And it's ironic because you were, technically speaking, at least in terms of the band side of things, technically,
I was the first
you were
person
the
to act
first
on it,
person,
yeah.
yeah. And if you host another tournament, that would have spoke volumes.
But I
that-
never personally like insulted him about it. I was trying to be like
Here's your punishment.
reasonable.
Yeah.
yeah, like,
It's
you
a
weren't,
punishment.
You weren't
it's
telling. Yeah, you weren't telling him like you're a piece of shit. And
Yeah.
then at the
It's
end
like-
of it saying you're banned. You were just saying you're banned. That's it.
yeah, it's like you serve him the punishment, and then he gets the
then
message.
you move on with your
Then
day,
you
yeah.
move on, but then you have people like Sonic who just want to take it and whittle it down to a fucking, to a splinter, and it's like, yeah. None of us are in such a position that we can sit there and tell Joey how much of a piece of shit he is because he said something bad. Like, but it has given so many people, specifically Sonic, like I said, and also Flame, it has given them an excuse to sit there and stand up on their whole high holy mountain and rain down holy fire upon Joey, and just like they won't shut the fuck up about it. And they keep going and they keep fucking with him. And they keep trying to piss him off and make him freak out. And then when he freaks out, they sit there and fucking point a finger at him and be like, look everybody, look how fucking crazy and freaked out Joey is. It's like, you're the one who fucking got him there. So leave him the fuck alone. Like, for just like 10 fucking seconds, lay off this fucking kid. And it's just fucking ridiculous. It's
think-
a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, for context on two parts of that, it should also be said that Joey didn't help himself because whilst he eventually got the message, it should also be said that at one point he didn't think he was doing anything wrong. He's like, yeah, I said the N-word, 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 and then he just it's like that South Park scene when it's like Carter gets called out for using the F-word, is it, or something, and then he keeps saying it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
No,
But the
look,
difference is it's Joey with the N-word. And he learned the
it-
message eventually, though.
he did something dumb and he knew it was dumb, and then he went and he tried to double down and like defend himself, and like, it's like I've explained to people, it's like sometimes when you get fucking busted and everyone says you get busted, instead of just sitting there and being like, sorry, shouldn't have done that, and accept your busting. You sit there and you try to defend yourself and make it seem like it's not so bad. And that's just what guys do sometimes, and it's dumb.
Guys, what Joey did, he was racism or something?
Oh my god.
Who said that?
Fucking
Alex
Alex
Zombie.
Zombie typed in the chat. He was like, "What Joe did? Was
I
he
feel so
racism?"
bad.
I don't
for
fucking feel
saying
bad.
Oh, you
Fuck
found
that
it.
It's
kid.
just, I wouldn't make fun of his grammatical mistakes because obviously
That's
it's
like,
not his
I was
first
gonna say
language.
that
But the way he worded it for the context, it made it funny.
that sounds like, I feel like that's the one of the few messages where he actually like got the grammar wrong. Like for a guy that is Spanish, he actually
Yeah, he
his
does
grammar
pretty
is
well,
actually
usually.
better than Vulcan's at times. It has to be said.
Oh my
And it
god.
pains me to have to say that.
And Vulcan speaks
Oh my
fucking English.
You guys invented the fucking language.
It's true.
Like
We've invented
honestly,
everything.
if I figured out that Vulcan like had a mental disability, I would not be surprised.
Okay, well, everyone like knows that he's got like some form of autism or something, don't they?
We all have
I
fucking
think is that
autism.
not? Well, I'll get. Well, no,
Vulcan
no,
has it.
I've not.
Jumpy has
I think
it.
I might.
I
I
have
do
it.
not have it. I do not.
Then why the fuck do you act like it?
Surprise, Swan. You'd be surprised. I do not.
Jesus.
I am not.
I am surprised. Shit must just be undiagnosed because you're the most autistic motherfucker I've ever seen.
And on all of this, I've said this several times in the past that I'll go to bat for Vulcan. Even well, I didn't yesterday when I called him out and said you need to learn this thing called a filter, Vulcan. But like I'll go to bat for Vulcan probably more than anyone else because I know him in real life, and that's like that's an average defense. But like because I know him in real life and I've actually hung out with him like 100 times in real life, he doesn't do any of this dumb shit in real life. I don't understand why he loses his shit. Like it's not even like the fact that he like I've turned into Swan here. It's not even the fact that he like he says dumb shit in parties or in Discord or stuff. The level of rage he produces, like I remember when I used to be like that, and I think like, why are you getting so worked up? It's like I don't understand Halo racing. I've never seen he gets worked up at that more than anything else, and I don't understand why. Does he actually think he's God at Halo racing? Like, I would wager I've been better than him in the entire history, like, in the entire history of since he's been Halo racing. At no point has he been better than me. And he's still, like, gets so angry about it.
Can we get can we get a good old "give me room" in the chat, please?
Is it really bad that I don't actually remember where that joke came from? It just started one day, and I was like, did he ever say that once? Because I couldn't remember when he...
Well, it was. I was talking to Ump once, and he was talking about how he was in this fucking race, and Strafe came up behind him, and I guess he was trying to make a pass, but Ump says that he wasn't in a position to make a pass at all. And so he started going like, give me room.
Okay.
And Ump was like, dude, you're not going to pass me. But then later on in the race, Ump's going on a fucking turn, and Strafe just comes up and fucking T-bones him. And as he does it, he's going, give me room!
Oh, okay.
I actually believe that.
Okay, actually, it suddenly makes more sense. I'd never actually realised it could have been an Ump thing, because I actually do forget sometimes that Ump raced with us.
Yeah, until he got banned or something.
Oh, that's just
Still
a
got names on
personality
this
thing.
list.
Yeah,
Sorry, I haven't even finished with the Joey. I feel like we could cover. Let's cover the whole names, and then we'll cover because there's certain things, like there's certain topics that's not even around specific people, but involve specific people that I'd like to get into. So let's go through the rest of the list.
This could be an interesting one. I have Snoz on the next one on my list.
Ooh.
Oh, Snoz. Snoz, me and him have butted heads so many times over the years, but I like Snoz. I have a lot of respect for Snoz, and he's someone that I can always go and have an intelligent conversation with. Stop that. Even if,
For obvious reasons.
even if, like, me and him disagree about something, we can have an intelligent conversation with it. Sometimes he can like sometimes if you're having a debate with them, like you can't get a word in, and like that shit drives me nuts. But no, like fucking the last week or so, I've been like waking up early in the morning and just like hopping in a party with Snaz and just like fucking chatting with him. And he's a cool dude. I like Snaz.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he's good.
And he's
spent a
one of
lot-
the very few people in this community who will call me out on my bullshit. Like, there's so many people in this community who will not call me out on my bullshit, and Snaz is like the only one who does.
Yeah, I think that's not. It's a little bit. I freaking love Snaz. I gotta be honest with you guys. I spent a lot of time with him, like during COVID and stuff. Like there'd be days where it's just me, Snaz, and Z on literally every day, just playing games, and I don't know. He's great.
You're the
Look,
Minecraft.
it comes with
slaves.
it comes with age. Like I can't understand like from I wonder sometimes what goes on like with him. Like I imagine not a lot. Like in his head, I mean, I imagine not a lot because to him it's probably just a case of no. I don't mean because he's like I don't mean because he's an idiot. I mean like probably because in his head he's just like yeah, I'll just get on, play Xbox, watch YouTube. He has a chill life. He doesn't need to work and like. And again, maybe it helps with being older. Like he doesn't understand the whole idea of all this beef. Like, why is everybody arguing?
Okay, we're being too fucking nice. I'm moving on. Fuck you.
I'm sorry.
I wanted to see more
Snaz.
beef. Fuck. The next name on here is Matt.
Oh, Matt, is he still in the fucking chat?
I don't think so.
I'm
No,
the only one in
He
it.
got on
in-
Fall Guys.
Yeah.
He's on Fall Guys.
What a fucking disappointment. Well,
Oof.
so Matt is, so when I first met Matt, we actually hit it off really good and became buds. And then the Madden leagues happened. And me and Matt, like, just could not get along. Like, at fucking all. Like, me and him just, like, we really went at it. Like, it was, like, all-time, like, fucking all-time beef. And just for, like, probably a year or no, like, a year and a half, me and Matt just, like, were no bueno with each other. And, we've gotten better. Of course, you know, there are times he still kind of gets on my nerves, like, but I think that when me and him were at our worst, that was when I was at my worst. Because around that time I had some unfortunate things happening in the old Swan life. And I kind of turned into a bit of a dickhead for a while, and I will accept the responsibility that perhaps most of mine and Matt's problems came from me kind of being a dick. And you know, there were times where I would just talk to him, and I would just think he was an insufferable prick. But I think that we've kind of come around, and me and Matt get along now. I like Matt. I like Matt. I don't love Matt, but I like Matt.
Don't think anyone loves Matt.
Oh, he's a cool guy. It's just
Matt's chill, but like Matt's the kind of guy that's like. I can't believe I'm becoming Swan by just being so open about this stuff. Matt's the kind of guy that's like. He doesn't give a fuck about anyone, I don't think, but not like in a cruel way. Like he just doesn't really he doesn't know anyone. These are just to him. These are just people in an Xbox party that some of whom he has known for a long time.
Right.
well,
I think because of
Everybody
that,
used to just shit on Matt in MCC.
my biggest
Well,
problem
yeah.
with Matt has always kind of been that he acts like he doesn't give a fuck, but he obviously does, actually. Like he would sit there and say, "Oh, I didn't practice for this course," even though like we all knew that he was practicing it, and it's like, why is it such a big deal? Who fucking knows? But I don't know. Like,
are we talking old days or like the modern days when he's getting all these total victories and shit?
well, no, this was back when I had problems with
This
it,
is back,
that all this
okay.
was kind of going on.
Because I've definitely seen him, like, I saw him, like, I'm not going to give spoilers away, Irish's premieres tonight. I know how he does, and having seen the whole, like, having been in the whole lobby when he did his full run, like, I can't speak for saying like he didn't get on a previous day and like practice the map. Maybe he had a look at it once, and then you know, had the second session where he did the whole tournament. But like, I genuinely think he clearly has a plan. And I'll be honest, Chumpy, I think you could use Matt's example as a reason why you should take your Xbox. But Matt clearly has an idea in his head of like, you know, he's got his college life and whatnot, and he makes the time to run the courses and like do whatever he wants to do on Xbox. And
Yeah.
Clearly he's got the balance right, because he's won fucking 4 or 5 times now. He's like got more total victories than like anyone ever, and all in the last 2 years. So he's got to be doing something right. And I know, like, just using Irish's tournament as the one that's about to premiere, he's not putting in that much practice these days. He's just that good.
Well, I'm just talking about when he used to like go on to a tournament and then he'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is literally my first time seeing the map."
Okay, yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, I can't speak for him back then. Yeah, back then, I just meant here and now. Like back then, I could probably believe that, to be honest. I know you had an issue with Smokey doing that, like when he was getting like total victories or first places or something on Rog's course.
Did I? Or are you talking about Chumpy? I don't remember having any issue with Smokey. Am I confused?
Smokey's alright.
Am I?
Smokey's like the most respect. Like I feel like he out of the big Corsos ever. Like I feel like you and Smokey give the most respect to the minor courses. Hunter, in my honest opinion.
Did Hunter die?
Which is strange because did Hunter die?
Hunter.
Hunter.
Well, I guess God did not save the queen. All right, who's the next name on the list? Come on, let's get a good one.
Honestly, my list is just about over. I have next on. Yeah, he got disconnected. I'm gonna invite him back. Okay, the next name I have on my list is just Caden.
You already had him on there.
No, we talked about the 3 individual. Like,
who
do you think's like, yeah.
I don't know.
I literally just
He's an annoying kid. Like, what else am I supposed to say? He's just like every other annoying kid that's ever come through. When he gets older and starts actually developing a personality, then maybe I'll give a fuck.
Yeah. Nah. My list is pretty much over. I guess what we could talk about is courses now. While we're in the beef subject, what's other than your own? What is out of the smaller courses? What's the one that you think has the most like potential?
Flames.
Yeah.
I think that if Flame could get his commentary straight, that his course would like be head and shoulders better than all of yours. His course is good. His editing's good. Everything about his stuff is like where it needs to be, except for his commentary, which is fucking awful. Partially because he sounds like a fucking chain smoker.
Yeah. No, I think that Flame's course is good. I feel like he could have a bit more character with his forging. Like, his forging's great. Like, it's clean. Don't get me wrong. It's just, it seems a little bit like, not really much special about it, if you know what I mean.
You know, when you say that your janky forging adds to your course's charm, that's not like supposed to be like.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
You're not supposed
I'm saying,
to take
like,
that seriously.
Whenever I built my renewal stage, like I built one of the maps on fucking like Breakout Arena or something like that, like something that makes the course look good. You know what I mean? Like it looks good. Everything's clean.
You know what? Flame's course is a little more traditional than even I like it, but I feel like his course is the way it is because that's how he wants it. You know, like I feel like
Right.
I feel like that's what he wants his course to be like, so I don't take any problem with it.
That's fair. I also think that his editing and Rish's are a bit on the same tier of a little bit basic. I don't want it to come off as insults. I really don't. But I think it's stuff that he can improve, like making stuff look a little bit nicer.
Well,
Like, he gets the job done, but it could be
Irish's
better.
course, it's, I think Irish has a good course. I'll acknowledge that I think that maybe the way his course is geared is not exactly for me. Like, I think that, you know, everybody has their preferences, and all of Irish's preferences conflict almost directly with mine. And it's just, I don't know. Like, I just think that his course is kind of hard to look at, and I just don't like it very much. I think the videos are way too bloated and way too long. I think the obstacle designs aren't very great. You have like stage 3 obstacles that take like 10 minutes to fucking complete, and it's like, ugh, you know, I don't like it. But I mean,
And
I still think he does a good job, and I know there are people who like that sort of thing, so good for them.
And I think the reason why Irish's course is so like much bigger than the other ones right now is just because of how consistently he's putting them out. Which I feel like will come to shoot him in the foot eventually, whenever the quality starts to dim down a little bit compared to the people who are taking longer, but like their editing videos look a bit nicer, if you know what I mean.
Well, I think the thing that
Like
Irish Warrior
I
has
think
going for it,
Sonic's editing is pretty underrated.
I think the thing that Irish Warrior really has going for it is that I don't know, like Irish one way or another has kind of managed to make his course kind of like seem like it's a bit of an event. Like when an Irish tournament is going on, it kind of feels like, oh, it's time for Irish Warrior, as opposed to a lot of times when these tournaments go on, I don't know, it doesn't. Irish. It's not necessarily the video, it's just the way that he conducts himself as a host feels way more professional than all the other hosts. And
Yeah, no, I agree.
that gives his course a much greater air of legitimacy, you know what I mean?
Do you think the reason why me, Flame, and Sonic are having a hard time is because we're still kind of young?
Not
Like,
not
not necessarily
necessarily.
like because of the way it looks, just like gaining traction and stuff.
No, I don't think so necessarily. I think that as course hosts, you guys have mostly overcome that. You know, Chumpy, I can say for sure what I think the problem is with you is that, you know, one way or another, people have the perception that you don't even really take it that seriously. Like, you don't seem like you give much a fuck about your course at all.
I think that I used to feel that way, but I feel like I'm starting to grow past it. My
Well,
tournament
I will
12,
say the
right?
last run I did on your course, I was sitting there asking you how to do an obstacle, and you just straight up ignored me. And then, like, Snoz asked,
I gotta be honest with you.
Snoz was like, hey, can you show Swan how to do this obstacle? And you kind of just ignored me, and you were, like, talking to somebody else. And then, like, I went and failed that obstacle, and then I was like, well, I didn't know how to do it, so I failed it. And then Snoz was like, well, Chumpy, why didn't you tell him how to do it? And then your answer was literally, that's a good question.
I think I spaced out a little bit. I gotta be honest with you. When did I do your run? Shit.
It was pretty recent.
But like, I don't know. I must have spaced out. I normally.
So, spoilers for
I don't
Halo
feel like-
Sasuke, I did not get total victory.
Damn. Get him next time, Swan.
Yeah. One day,
Well,
one day I'll be a good jumper again.
I can't believe you failed that obstacle. I gotta be honest. I forget off the top of my head. I have it written down somewhere. Oh, I know what you failed. Never mind. Sorry. No, I think that as of my course as of late, I feel like it's the best it's been as far as like editing and forging, honestly.
Well, other than the tournament that I forged for you, of course. No,
coaching. That one sucked, actually. It was the worst one.
I think that
You
this
know that one actually has the most views ever on a Halo Sasuke video.
it's because it's yummy to look at. No, but I think that your current course is the best iteration of your course that there's been. I think that your editing's gotten a lot better. I think you still need to
You
work
watched
on your...
14, right?
Yeah, I kind of skimmed through them. I don't watch, like, all 50 fucking Stage 1 runs. Like, fuck that.
Right.
But, no, I think that... I think you still got to work on your commentary a little bit, because
I
you're...
feel like it's a lot better than what it was. The freaking, like, just dead silent. Oh, and now he's on to the jumping spider.
Well, it's like, I don't know, you got to, like, throw some character into it, you know? Like, you're doing it, and you're kind of like... Oh, and he's on to the jumping spider. Yeah, dude. That's my chumpy commentary impression. Meanwhile, Flame's like, he's on to the jumping spider.
I feel like I give off more of a reaction than Flame does
And then
in some cases.
Sonic's like, he's on to the jumping spider.
That's actually kind of true. Yeah, I think that
I think Irish probably has the best commentary out of all the minor courses, really.
I think it's the most balanced commentary. Yeah.
Just because he sounds invested, he sounds, articulate, he sounds professional. There's nothing, special about it, but like I think he does a good job on the commentary. He sounds like he's into it. That's like a big thing. You gotta sound like you're into it.
I think Irish gives off the like smoky type of commentary.
Kind of. I'd say it's kind of a mix of Smokey and Hunters, where like I don't know. I've never been big on Smokey's commentary either.
I feel like his is getting better though, as of late. Have you watched his recent tournament? You should, because I did kind of.
Honestly, it's like I know a lot of people are saying that Smokey's tournament's getting so good now, but honestly, like
the editing quality is better than it's ever been.
The way that it's kind of going is actually kind of opposite the way that I would prefer it to go. I don't know. Like, it feels too much like I'm watching a sport right now with Smokey's. Like, it sounds too professional, if that makes any sense. Like, if you go back and watch the old Sasuke tournaments, like, none of it ever really felt like it felt professional, but it didn't. I don't know, like, it was funny, it was witty, it was, eccentric, and I don't know, it's just like Smokey's commentary is kind of boring, man. Like, it's well done, but I just think it's kind of boring, and, like, I want to hear, like Hunter, his mic quality has always been, like, fucking awful, but, like, he always sounds like he's been talking through a toaster. But Hunter's also having, like, a whole battle with his internet right now for anybody watching. But, I don't know, Hunter's always had a lot of character. He's always seemed into it. And apart from his whisper yelling, I think that he's always had really great commentary. And Rog has never had great commentary. I don't know if he ever will. But he does have the, yes! He's done it! God say
I mean, he definitely keeps people interested, I guess, with it being loud. But it's a little bit too loud.
Oh, dude, I missed season 3
think,
of Spartan Sasuke. That was a good fucking season.
Nah, that was a bad one. That was my worst one.
No, you know what? I will say, though, despite me thinking that Rog has the worst commentary, I don't think that this is biased, but of course it could be, because I'll always have a different feeling for all the courses that I competed in. But I just, Spartan Sasuke, I really do still fucking love that show. Like, even the ones I didn't compete in, I'll still fucking watch them. Well, there were a couple I didn't watch, but, like, I still just fucking love it. I'm not a fan of too much of what Rog's been doing lately, some of the obstacles he's had, and the most current season hasn't been the best for me, but I still just, especially like season 1 is just amazing, and Season 2 is a bit weaker, but it still has like fucking iconic moments, and Season 3 is fucking awesome.
I think this is not this is not bias. My favorite one is season 4, strictly for bias reasons. Strictly. I mean I've gotten 2 first places in season 4. I feel like I'm kind of like there's people that got to stage 4 and stuff too. Yeah, cool. I feel like I've kind of been like the front runner of season 4. If you're not like in the parties and stuff, like based off of results, I feel like my run on Rock season 4 has been the best out of anybody else. And you could say because he's gotten 2 first places as well, but you gotta there's behind the scenes stuff that kind of ruined that for me.
No, but let's see here. Kind of, you know what's funny?
About all that stuff, right?
Yeah, you know what's funny? You know what my like favorite Spartan Sasuke tournament ever is?
Is it season 6?
No,
6, right?
nope, not tournament 6.
Well, did you do well in 12, 13?
Nope, neither of them. You're never gonna guess
7?
it. Spartan Sasuke 4 is my favorite Spartan Sasuke tournament.
Oh, didn't you get fucked in 4 by the floating stuff?
I did get fucked in 4. Well, okay, when you say it like that, it makes it sound like it wasn't entirely my fucking fault. But no.
No.
Yeah, I fucked myself in 4. But, you know, honestly, regardless, it was a shocking fail. It was good for the video.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, there was the great profile of T5.
I miss tournament. I miss season 1 Swantron. Or I guess I was Sauron Sucks back then. I miss that guy. He was so
Dude,
fucking
I wasn't
into
around
this
that.
shit.
It's because I didn't show up yet. It all started spiraling downwards once Atlantic Champ showed up.
No, fucking.
It's all my fault.
Season 1 of Spartan Sasuke, Sauron Sucks. That guy loved jumping. He really fucking did.
Oh, how times have changed.
And he thought he would be a grand champion one day.
Did you never win a course?
Technically, I won King Sparkity's course. Like I said earlier, you gotta think, when I was at my best, there was one fucking course to run.
Right.
Like, if there were all these minor courses back when I was at my peak, yeah, I probably would have racked up a couple total victories.
Did you only get a first place in 6 of Rogs?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there's also, maybe I should have had more, but...
Scuffed.
Yeah. No, but it's like, yeah, if there were people, like, running minor courses... I mean, like, there were a couple people who tried to run courses, like Sparky ran his course, Scope ran a course around that time, a couple other people. And you know what? I was fucking racking up total victories. Like, none of them are on YouTube anymore, but, like, back when those were running, I got, like, 3 total victories.
Yeah.
Because I was really, like... Suicide. Like, a lot of people are never going to believe this now, but, like, anyone who knew how good I was back then will agree that, like, back then, dude, I was like a top 3. I really was.
Yeah.
I was like a top 3 fucking jumper. I was awesome, dude. Like, I think back on, like, some of the things I used to be able to do, and I'm like, god damn, like, how the fuck? It was like, I kind of just had, like, a sixth sense, you know, for, like, I'd look at a jump and I'd be like, we'll just fuck around and we'll do this. And then I'd just fucking do it, you know? And it's like, how the fuck? And, like, I see me compete in some of these old tournaments, and I'm just, like, really fucking killing it. And I'm like, how the fuck did that guy do that?
I think I was the quickest to have, like, a rise and downward spiral according to the public of Halo jumping.
Send Hunter an invite. I mean, I wouldn't say that you've had a downward spiral.
And people called it that though. It's ridiculous, dude.
I'd say that you're trying really hard to fucking act like you're all fucking washed up and shit, which is fucking annoying. It's
No, I feel like I have to listen to it so much, so I start to get that kind of like perception. You know what I mean? Make sure you include your audio, Hunter.
no, but you know what the fucking you know what the pattern is these days. You know what the fucking pattern is. It was established by Puma and it was perfected by me. You get this fucking guy who's this big up-and-comer, and nobody believes in him, so he sits there and, he's fighting against everybody who doesn't believe in him, and then he starts doing good, and people start believing in him, and then that guy's all of a sudden like, oh shit, I feel all this pressure, and he can't live up to the pressure, and he can't bear to do worse than he thinks he should be able to do, and so that starts to burn him out, and so then he starts to jump less because he's burned out, so then he starts getting worse, and then he's like, oh, I'm washed up, and then he complains about how much he's washed up and about how he's going to retire and all this fucking shit, and people are, and then they just like fucking let it go. They just fucking let it go. Right at the peak of their fucking game. Puma did it, I did it, and you're fucking trying to do it. Now I hear fucking Pedro talking about how he's burned out. I hear Joey talk about how he's burned out. I hear all these fucking guys saying that shit, and it's like, oh my fucking God.
And that's what's sad, isn't it? Like, there's no, like, people don't care.
What do you mean?
That's what's annoying about it. Is because, like, I feel like if I just, like, straight up and quit jumping, like, tomorrow, just didn't compete on anything again, stop, recording tournaments, just stop jumping, how many people do you think would actually give a damn?
Well, how many people would you expect to give a damn?
Not many, honestly.
If any jumper stopped jumping, how many people do you think would really fucking give a shit?
Not many.
People didn't give a shit when I stopped jumping. People didn't give a shit when Drago stopped jumping. People didn't give a shit when Ree stopped jumping. People just like it's whatever, it's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
We're not professional athletes. People don't give a fuck. That's just how it is. The only one who's ever gonna really give a fuck is you. Like, that's the way it works. And yeah, sure, maybe you'll get some fucking fan mail from Roblox kids. You know who you are. But like. Really, it's like suicide. No, it's if I could change one thing about my jumping career, it would simply be that after tournament 13, I would just fucking go back, fucking hit the grind again, and get better.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah,
that.
no, I think that I gotta be honest with you though, Swan. I feel like you leaving was what pushed me to do better, because like let's be real, if you competed in tournament 14, you would have done better than me.
Probably.
If you did what you said and just grinded out a tournament, I would have gotten second place. You would have been third.
I mean, really, realistically, I don't even necessarily even know how good I am anymore, because the last time I put in like actual training for a tournament was Spartan Sasuke 13. Like, that was the last time. And like, who knows how good I could do now. Like, going on regularly and like practicing and, setting up the maps with the platforms, the practice whatever obstacle you need to practice, and that shit. But like, all I really do anymore is I kind of like, I'll sometimes go on the map by myself and practice it and like look at it and kind of figure it out. And, sometimes I'll go and practice it, but then other than that, most of my practice is right before my run,
Well, to be fair, if you did, like, go and look on your own, that's still more than what Puma does in a lot of runs that he ends up doing these days.
Well, Puma's a fucking idiot.
Puma
will
was,
not
honestly,
truly retire until, like, an entire fucking procession is carried out and people, like, fucking weep in the streets. I've told him this, and I don't give a fuck if he knows. Every single time he pulls that retirement bullshit, he's doing it for fucking attention, and I know he is, because he misses when he used to get attention for good reasons. But he sits there and he won't shut the fuck up about how jumping's dead, and I really wish he would just like shit or get off the pot. Like, either fucking
He still
retire,
calls jumping dead.
not necessarily anymore, but he used to do shit like that. You know what I mean, though.
I want to test my internet's alright.
I want him to either fucking retire and shut the fuck up, or fucking practice and like take it seriously and be a good jumper again.
I think
But he feels so fucking sorry for himself.
I've thought about my point, Hunter. I'm gonna.
I have a conversation point about Puma, but I want to get onto a few other things before that. What I will at least say about the whole, like, I agree. Like, there's so many. I don't know how laggy I am, by the way. If it does sound laggy, let me know.
You're good.
I believe he is in that category of competitor, like older jumpers I'm talking about, that have passed their peak, and it doesn't look like they're going to get it back. Like, I know I'm past it. Swan has probably been saying whilst I've been gone that he's past it. Tanks is well past it. Bill is past it. Fuck, who else is old? Killer, when he was Killer back on the MCC and the more so the MCC, he's past it. Soul never hit it. Rip Soul. Snars, yeah, I don't even know.
Had a good run.
Snars' peak. I didn't even know. I don't know what I would call Snars' peak, because Tournament 9, one tournament you can't really call it a peak. MCC, he got like 3 stage 1 clears in a row, which is like, if someone said that to Snars, if someone said that about Snars now, you'd think that's like, how?
Right.
How did Snars clear stage 1 3 times in a row on the same board?
Yeah. No, my point I was gonna make about Puma though is I feel like Puma, whenever if we were talking to the Chumpy who didn't get invited to Smokey's 16, that young Chumpy, I think Puma was the biggest.
Oh wait,
letdown
sorry. Do you mean? Hi guys, I'm Atlantic Champ.
Fuck you. Anyways, I think Puma. I think Puma, as far as a person being in the parties, was the biggest letdown for me because he was the one who I actually looked up to as a runner whenever I started out. Because of his, yeah, at the beginning, and it still goes on now. I mean, if the Puma that is shown in the jump tournaments is just not the same Puma that's in these parties, and that was a bit of a letdown for me. You know what I mean?
The simple reason for that, Smokey said it so many times. You joined, like, that point when you joined, which would have been like maybe late MCC or early Halo 5, that point was the point that Smokey thinks Puma snapped. Like, he had his T16 on Smokey's course, and he was never saying again. Like, he said it sometimes, he's put it in his tournament, like his profiles he's done on Puma.
Yeah, I feel like it's sad for me to see Puma act like that whenever I know that there's people who.
I can half cover the conversation I wanted to have about Puma at this point, because look, I in no point did I'm probably the biggest defender of Puma. I think that's pretty damn clear. I don't think there's anyone that will try and defend Puma more than me.
Right.
But even I can't defend like some of the shit he says. Like if he does still say the whole jumping dead thing, which he was saying like 3 years ago, like that's stupid, because that is not the case. You've got like last week we were listing off like.
Dude, it's more lively. Other than like MCC, I feel like it's more lively than it's ever been on Halo 5.
I would say even MCC, like MCC didn't have this level of shit. I mean, obviously it didn't have that. We didn't have that many courses running on MCC, but we certainly had. I tell you, I know one of the reasons why he was named dead is because he misses the days of daily jump comps or jump tournaments. That let's hop in and do a comp.
Right.
And yeah, maybe part of the problem is the fact that most people, or well, almost everybody actually, has something to do on Xbox that's not jumping. Like back then, jumping might have been like the only thing to do, or like the only thing we wanted to do, outside of like random custom game lobbies and shit.
Right.
Whereas now you've got basketball, you've got golf, you've got other games, not just Halo.
Right.
You've got just people that just want to actually just chill in the party and not do anything.
You have people running podcasts.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
the bald one.
The worst
I-
podcast.
We did shave our heads for this. We
I can't
I did.
justify
Sorry.
some of Puma's comments, like the whole jumping is dead thing. If he does still say that, yeah, that's just stupid. Also, as I say, the whole retirement thing, I can't disagree. It is probably for attention. Almost certainly it's for attention. And
Suicide.
I don't understand his argument that he's not going to get into it. He's saying he's not going to get into it because he doesn't like the whole
Suicide.
loot boxes and paying to get anything. Like,
That's literally Fall Guys that he's been playing obsessively for the last few weeks.
Yeah, my case is, okay, I've got two cases then. One is a new case, which is Fall Guys. The second point I will always argue, and I don't actually think I've ever said this to Burnout, is that has nothing to do with how good you may or may not be, as like from a jumping point of view. Like, none of us know what jumping's going to be like on Infinite. None of us know how good we are as a jumper on Infinite because we haven't had the opportunity. But I can guarantee you, it will make no difference if you're a good jumper or not. If you're wearing default armor or if you're wearing fucking ultra rare Husky Alt 6 Spartan lock armor. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't make any difference.
And you know,
I've seen people take the piss. It's like, I'm gonna turn up as the most bland motherfucker on like to these courses as protest. Like, I've actually heard people say I'm gonna do that, and I think that's kind of funny. And like, there's no reason why Puma couldn't do the same thing. He's just making excuses.
yeah, well, you know, we probably all will show up as bland motherfuckers because I don't think there's any other way to unlock armor other than to buy it.
Yeah.
So, when I show up for tournaments, I'm definitely going to just be fucking wearing default ass armor. Like, you're going to see fucking default Swan. I can't even be white. Like, I have to change my colors. So, like, I'm just going to be like fucking...
If I make one purchase, it'll be to buy yellow, and that's it.
Oh, Chump, you just saw you fail a cliffhanger. You fucking suck.
Oh, fuck you. No, just kidding.
No,
So I will bring up another argument that I definitely agree with about Puma. His argument about jumping from the sense of like moving obstacles. He argues that all moving obstacles...
Oh, he won't shut the fuck up about moving obstacles.
I don't
So which-
get.
I have 2 points to that. Firstly, he doesn't complain about the moving obstacle if he doesn't fail it. Like, I know there are some moving obstacles that, like, he'll look at them. I mean, some don't even have to be moving obstacles. He was starting on, like, about Flames course, like the jump hang on his old course, and saying it's not a stage 1 obstacle. And that doesn't even move. I dread to think what he's going to say when he tries Smokey's Tarzan ropes on his new course.
No,
Yeah, so if he doesn't fail it, he doesn't complain about it, which is probably one of the reasons why he doesn't complain about my course, because while my course doesn't have many moving obstacles, when it does, he never complains about them because he can do them.
right.
The second point I'd make, he's been rolling balls for 10 years. That's a moving obstacle. That's like,
I agree.
That's the most bare bones example of a moving obstacle in jumping.
Oh my god. Fuck. Sorry, I failed. Yeah, I agree. It's just such a goofy take.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty sick of hearing him fucking say that. And of course, it's, you know, anytime the thing that's annoying about getting criticism about the course that you build is that 9 times out of 10 when you do get criticism, you'll get criticism about this one particular obstacle that the person giving you criticism just failed in their run. And it's like, okay,
He's not the only person. Everyone.
oh, he's far from the only person. And you know, a lot of people, there are people who complain about exactly that, like Flame, who fucking do that, who just start fucking bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching. And that is the worst part about running a tournament, is the people who will not stop fucking bitching Like
And
just
I feel like it's different for somebody like a hunter or somebody like a chumpy or something. I feel like a lot more people have the balls to do it for a course that's smaller, if you know what I mean.
well, it's like
And I feel like those people take it where I'm not even saying me directly. I've had some shitty obstacles in the past. I will not deny that I have had some shitty obstacles in the past, but I feel like people are more.
Yeah, people will like think it's easier to shit on the smaller course, and because they think they can get away with it. Like I think the other thing that I will say is like me and Smokey, like we probably it doesn't happen very often, but like we don't give a fuck. I certainly don't give a fuck when
Hunter?
I certainly don't give a shit when someone complains. Like, I know Smokey doesn't give two shits when people like Smokey has his whole like. I'm not saying he's monotone, but like when he gets criticism, he'll put on his normal voice, but it sounds like monotone or like not patronizing, but like it makes it sound like he doesn't give a shit, which is probably because he doesn't give a shit.
well, it's like
Like, yeah.
I was sitting there and I was doing runs for Jump 3, and then people start fucking coming in and being like, well, specifically I was talking to Sonic, and he was sitting there and he was like, yeah, I couldn't help but notice, with his Sonic voice. And then he starts going on about how my cliffhanger is janky and inconsistent and this and that. And I'm like, okay, I'll take a look at I'm like,
Just got kicked out.
I'm like, I'll take a look at it, okay. And then, like, he sits there and he's not satisfied, and he's sitting there, he's like, yeah, you need to change that. And I'm like, I'll change it if I decide to change it. And then he's like, well, I don't understand, blah, 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 And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, Sonic, dude, listen. First of all, I have never had a problem on that cliffhanger. So, like, if I've never had a problem on it, how the fuck am I supposed to fix it? Second of all, do you know how many people, like, if I went and changed every single fucking obstacle that people complain about on my course, I wouldn't have a course. It would just be constant people complaining about this and that, just all the time.
I feel like there's a lot of people who think that they just have the right to do that.
Well, it's like, everyone has the right to raise a complaint, but it's like, first of all, are you complaining because you actually have a problem, or because that's the obstacle you failed and you're salty? Second of all, do you think it's inconsistent because it's actually inconsistent, or do you think it's inconsistent because you're fucking bad? Like, that's one thing, and people don't want to fucking hear that. It's like, you know what, sometimes when there's an obstacle that you can't beat, it's because you're fucking bad, not because the obstacle's shitty and inconsistent. So it's like, how am I supposed to know just from your word?
The map we're on right now, Tournament 25, I know Smokey had a couple of practice demos, and I was there for one of them. This second on stage 3, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know if he's changed it or made it easier, but when I first saw it, I was dog shit at it, and I'm still of the opinion that it is the hardest obstacle for me on the whole stage. The whole stage through. This second obstacle. But I know, like, I'll make my point, but then I'll know when to stop. I won't keep going up. Now, I admit I did get a bit mad. I was kind of playing up to it a bit. I was getting kind of crazy about it. But I know, like, when to stop. And not make it seem like a personal attack as well.
Right.
Right.
Whereas too many kids think they can just complain until they get their own way.
Oh, yeah.
Rather than admit that they suck at it. But that's not just, like, the kids of today. That has existed throughout the whole history of something.
And Sonic's, like, getting so fucking mad at me because I won't fucking change my cliffhanger. And he's like, well, every time I attempt that, I get bumped off. And I'm like, dude, so then don't fucking rub your face up against the fucking wall like you always do. Like, if one technique is consistently not working, try a different fucking technique. It's like, don't fucking do that.
There's every obstacle in the history of jumping. Almost every obstacle in the history of jumping. Like, there's more than one way to do it.
Right. Well, it's like, here's the thing, is he sees that I have a cliffhanger on my stage 3. So he goes and he applies the same technique that he applies to every cliffhanger he encounters. And then when that same technique doesn't work, he's like, what the fuck? It's like, well, why would I want a cliffhanger that is just exactly the same as every other fucking cliffhanger? Like, maybe I want to do something fucking different, dude. Like, it pissed me the fuck off. And then, like, I'm sitting there trying to talk to him about, what the fuck? I'm trying to talk to him about it, and he's sitting there, and he's, like, getting so mad, he's like, well, fuck it, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. It's like, no, dude, like, I'm not sitting here fucking attacking you. Just, like, you wanted to talk about it, so let's fucking talk about it. Like, and that's the thing, is when someone complains about a fucking obstacle on a course, you don't know if it's because they're right, or because they're salty, or because they're bad, or because their connection's a little fucked or something, and you never know. And so it's like, how the fuck, it's like, why the fuck would you expect any course host to just, like, hear your complaint and then just immediately go make sure that it's fixed?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, fuck off. And especially, you know what, like, this might be a little bit shitty of me, but especially I do not want to fucking hear people tell me how I should forge something when I know that I'm a better forger than them. Like, I can't stand that shit. Yeah, I did.
Isn't this part of the
I
argument?
think I got like 4th place.
Isn't this like part of the argument? Yeah, in fact, you know what? Let's bring up Master Forger.
What's wrong with
This
Master
was the
Forger?
argument we were having before the stream started, wasn't it? Like, people were saying that the forging on my course wasn't great. I'm not going to get into this argument, but what I will say is that regardless of who was arguing what, who said, like, my forging wasn't as good as other forging, my forging,
I said that.
the forging I did for my course, like, it gets the job done. It looks the way I want it to look. Like, I wanted a flying chute that was different to Smokey's. I made a flying chute. I've got a slider jump in this Tournament 22 that nobody's seen on video, rip, outside the turf video. I made my own slider jump.
Yeah.
I've got a fucking, I don't know, I've got a salmon
You
ladder.
gotta-
I've
you
got a
gotta-
salmon ladder that's totally different from every other salmon ladder that's
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
I wanted it the way I wanted to make it.
You got this really cool obstacle.
And you
called,
know what?
the
You know what,
Jimmy
Hunter?
Neutron.
Here's a perfect example. I remember the very first time I ran Ninja Warrior of Halo, I made it to stage 2. And I'm sitting there, and we're on stage 2, and we're practicing, and everybody is losing their fucking shit over this salmon ladder, saying that it's inconsistent, and it's shitty, and it's broken, and it's too hard, and blah, blah, blah. I sat there, and I looked at it, and I was like, it's fine. Like, it's hard. It's a fucking salmon ladder. It should be hard. And I even told you that. I was like, yeah, this salmon ladder is fine. I don't know why the fuck everyone's freaking out. Because,
You just, I can't remember if you didn't have a mic or if you just weren't saying anything, but I always remember, that's the first moment that always sticks out in my mind is when I first interacted with you. And you messaged me that, and I was like, this Swan guy, I like this Swan.
well, it's like,
Well, you weren't called Swan back then. This Sauron guy.
Staron, yeah. No, but it's like, I don't know, I've always liked things that try to be different. And, you know, it's like, I always say this about your forging because it's something that comes up weirdly often, is that, you know, like, I think that you're good at designing obstacles, and I think that your obstacle, that you have, like, sound psychology and how you, like, make a course and stuff. It's just gonna look like shit. Like, it's gonna be good, but it's gonna look fucking awful.
Look at this map. This map, like, Trump, you're go out into the spectator on the start. This map is gorgeous. This map is colourful, like from the way it looks. I'm not talking about the obstacles itself. This course is colourful. It's got tons of background on it. It's got a variety of different things you can just look at without even like running the course. My course has a little bit of that. It's definitely gotten a lot better since about Tournament 20, when I started actually trying to put some effort into the colours. But yeah, it's like nothing I thought will ever look as good as like this map, let's say. The thing about it is, like, from an obstacle point of view, I have an idea in my head, and I'll figure out a way to do it. Like, Tournament 23, like, I always remember because most recent. I had a little lobby, I had my little forge lobby, I was testing out all sorts of different ideas and concepts for obstacles, and, you know, figuring out how to make them work, and, a couple of ideas were I wanted to put them on, I just couldn't get to work. The obstacle for the Jim Newton on stage 3. Here's the thing.
Hey.
Master Forger massively showed a thing about me that, like, could be considered a weakness. I am the sort of who just impromptu be able to come up with an idea in my head and just make it. Like, I've got to sit down for a while and figure it all out how I want to do it. Because Bombshell, I don't actually consider myself that great a forger. What have I forged? I've found it. These people that have said they can't forge on Halo 5 because they never learned it, I've said to them, it's not as bad as you think. It just looks complicated because you've got a giant fucking board of about 20 different things down the left-hand side of the screen.
It's all so intuitive, though.
It puts me off as well, and maybe I haven't learned all the gizmos and magic that you could make from it. But I've learned it enough to make what I want to make, which is a course. And that's for me.
And
I think the point, like we were talking about how basing off a conversation earlier, I never think what I said was like lost his fucking marbles about it. He lost his shit.
well,
And I was just like, dude, it's not wrong.
I think that Buzz has kind of become an easy target for people to kind of be like, well, why is Hunter's course even popular when the forging doesn't even look good? And it's like I fucking told you, Chump said, well, I took 6 months to upload a course and everyone said that my course was dead. And Hunter's got a 2-year backlog and nobody says anything like that. And I told Chumpy straight up to his face, I said, that's because his course is better than you. I don't know. It's like people are so quick to try to sit there and jump on hating somebody's course when it's like, I don't fucking get it. Like, why? If you don't like, so why can't you just accept that it's not for you? There's only like 70 of us. Like, if you literally like add up everyone who can possibly be considered to be a jumper, there's only like 70 of us, you know? Like,
Right.
So it's like, I'm just going by the numbers of people. So it's like, why are you sitting there trying to put everybody else down when they're sitting there trying to contribute something to the community?
There's 3 things I'd say to this specific conversation about my course. One,
Whoa, what the fuck?
like, what? I didn't know. First, you know, maybe if I whisper one of these words, it'll come out and increase in sound. First, I'd like to think that for 12 years of hosting, like, my backlog has existed forever. It's existed from day one. I have never been, Loki wasn't up to date.
Yeah.
Like, my backlog has always existed, so anyone arguing that point, you know, if I was in that army,
I just looked up at my TV, Swan.
If I was in that party when it was all kicking off saying about Pop, I have a fucking life. I have a fucking job. I have to put in so many hours. I actually talked about it at the very end of last week's podcast. I put in so many hours of hard work that by the time I get to the week or like the night, I'm looking forward to this holiday. It's the first proper holiday I've had in like 2 years, and I'm gonna hopefully get some actual editing done. The second point, I say 12 years. I've been going on long enough that I don't care what anyone says.
Sorry, this is too funny.
I'm looking at the screen and trying not to
What are you on the street?
I'm getting for 2 years, they're trying to say that my course is shit when I've run it for 12 years. I don't mean to sound arrogant, but I'm just like, your opinion is like, it's not nothing, but like you need to just chill the fuck out. Boomer's defending me when he got really mad at Chubby as soon as he said my forging car sucked. I don't actually think Boomer was trying to defend me. for my forging. I think he was only defending the corporate honor. It wasn't
Damn.
out of friendship. It wasn't out of friendship. I think it was out of genuine defense to his best, to the course he's best at right now.
God damn.
Speaking of forging, there was one man that really pissed me off in 2018 when he commented on my forging. It kind of brings it round to a nice circle. And that person was Rock. Now, Rock...
Oh, we're getting into some deep lore.
Okay, we're getting into...
More time.
Swan said about an hour and a half ago.
That's from your video for a while.
The first interaction I ever had with Rob was when I was looking at the forging tournament 18 stage 1, and I got a message from her saying, I can't remember the audio just went really loud for a split second.
Yeah, it's fine, you're good.
I got a message from, I can't remember the exact words, but it was something along the lines of like, I'm not sure this forging, like, because back then you could say something better than this. It was something along those lines. It wasn't those exact words, it was something along those lines. And I just thought, who the fuck is this to tell me that my forging, like,
Wait, which video was this?
And I'm not sure I'd ever interacted with Rock before this. I think this was my first interaction with Rock, so it wasn't a good start.
Yeah.
And then...
And I think because of that...
And then jump
Then one thing led to a copy.
For a long time. I was program because of that first impression, and I said for a long time that too many of his courses were just carbon copies of my course and Smokey's course.
Trust me, I remember.
It's not like I could really complain because, technically speaking, that era of the course was my best era because it got me the rank of All-Star.
Maybe next week we bring on can just have a history of the Jump Civil War.
Anyway,
You think that'd be a fun podcast?
Not to cover every little detail of the argument, but then, one thing led to another. Things were kind of like I was still running the course, but there were times when I wasn't happy putting arguments with balls, and I was just copy and paste reset. Then Chumpy entered the fray and tried to make himself get hated by Rog even more than me.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Then when I Rog was like, you know what? Why am I? Let's go. All for me defending Chumpy.
And then the
I'm
copyright
a bad
strike.
guy.
Okay, yeah. So when the copyright strike hit, this was at a point when I had patience with Rog, and I'd made clear, look, he changed his format for his whole course massively. He went from having like uber long stage ones to having like really short, fast-paced stage ones. You have the jump bang tie and then some of other stuff.
Yeah.
Basically my second.
Sorry, the one obstacle that looked like a prefab, I rather childishly said, like, rather look at the whole course that was reasonably original. I looked at one obstacle and said, oh, there you go, another prefab, another carbon copy, and more arguments, and then I was like, you know what, I'm just done competing in Era 3, and I just didn't want to have anything to do with this course. I actually went, like, there weren't premieres back then, but he could play tournaments. I'd go into them and dislike the video. Genuine pettiness. Petty childishness. Tournament 10 comes around, and it just so happens to coincide with the 10-year anniversary of jumping. And he messages me saying, can I use the footage on your course? He did a big intro where he showed all the big... I want it. He used my footage, I got all pissy about it, I called a copyright on it.
So...
I'm going to find a screen, a picture, I took a picture of it, I screenshot it. Then I'm going to see if I can find it. Since we're talking about YouTube comments earlier, he sent me an essay of a YouTube comment at how disappointed he was in me. See if I can find it. And that was the worst point that Swan, I don't know if I've got it on, but Swan certainly intervened and sat us down. It was jump court about the course.
Oh yeah, the Swan powwow is...
Judge Swan.
The powwow is similar to jump court, but quite at the same. A lot more fuckwords.
Where is it? I've got 800 pictures on my phone.
Oh, dude, I think I still stuck with Hunter though. I was like, yeah, this was the right idea, man.
Also, like, at the time when I was me and Trumpy were defending each other, this was also around the time when, like, I've joked about before about the whole master and apprentice thing with me and Trumpy. Like, me and Trumpy got, like, V's this time. It's kind of...
I'm sure. We never argued.
The thing that really united us was Rock back then. But
Oh,
I
yeah,
still
those
remember
were like
back
the first 4 retired.
Dude, it wasn't that many. There was like 3 of them. Let's be real. I'm not Alpha Puma.
I don't know, you might have retired just as much as Dan has.
No, the same like 10. Let's be real, Swan. They were all.
I also took pictures of a bajillion and one long Xbox messages he sent me. I don't think it was to do with the copyright. I think it might have been him actually complaining because I pre-fabbed the final stage and forged maps that wasn't Spartan Sasuke.
Oh, I remember that day. Okay. You want to know why I remember that day? Because I had just gotten home from vacation. And there, I go on my Xbox. It's new, low jumpy. Everybody's, you know, having a good time. I bet. No problems, right, guys? Dang,
The
it couldn't have been
shitstorm.
more wrong. Oh, dude, I got a big paragraph message from Rog talking out of a person Hunter is.
I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll give you some highlights. I'll give you the start of the list, and then I'll just read surface stuff. Okay, Hunter, you want the truth? You've got it.
Uh-oh.
I might have assumed already. You support you. Not because I hate you, or because I have a personal grudge against you or your cause. It's because I miss the old Hunter Unit 751. Where is he? Where is the Hunter that inspired me, and hundreds of others to become a Halo jumper?
Damn, dude, he's fucking going in on you.
Seems like I care. I don't.
Oh, dude, are you sure you want to talk about that?
The Hunter
I don't.
see now is one who is very sick. One who puts himself over others, even those who are disabled, brackets like me, and those who need help the most. Corrupted, and it is corrupted in the community.
I bet you he.
talking about Atlantic Jam.
You corrupted
Wait, what about
Chumpy!
me? What
This
about
is
me?
why! You corrupted Chumpy!
No. No, guys. Whatever shall I do?
During his interview that would eventually cut, going way off the topic I gave him to begin with. He said to me in his own words, "I'm retiring because of what you did to Hunter."
Did I say that?
Such a little fucking shithead. God, I do not miss that Chumpy.
Oh, that's freaking hilarious.
When I uploaded Spartan Sasuke on his my comment section about this, and though the comment is gone, I've saved it from a snip I took, and here's the comment posted as a reply to Sauron and every restaurant. Before it seems like I care, I don't.
No, yes, receipts. No. No.
Oh my god, dude,
Shit.
dude, Chumpy.
Sauron's reply, Atlantic champ, for fuck's sake, Atlantic, you trashed the course in your interview and threw shit all over Rog in every fight you've been in.
Oh, that's such a fucking Swan comment. Dude, Chumpy, man, you saying before it seems like I care I don't was like the worst fucking thing. I destroyed your reputation fucking quote. Like,
I've got one line I have to say here, hang on. I've got to say this. This will be the last thing of this comment. This is led Atlantic not only to retire from Spartan Sasuke, but Halo jumping entirely. Whether you expect him to do that or not, his reputation is crushed, and if you did not discourage him to continue jumping, he'd still be here, and would still be having fun with it too, as me, Sauron, and all the other people in the community wouldn't have said these horrible things to him. And then he says 4 words, Atlantic champ is innocent! Exclamation mark.
oh, Chumpy's never been innocent. Chumpy's a little fucking deviant. Is Chumpy dead?
I'm just listening.
Okay,
Okay, I won't
Chumpy,
Just
can we
listening.
talk about
I missed you.
Chumpy? Talk about how I just like really just a reputation for like a good period of time with the
I
because
couldn't
before
do
it
shit
seems
in
like
the
I
community for a good period. I was friends with Cheese's Life and Talking King. That's how sad it got.
oh man
Those were my
no
friends.
I
Cool cheese. You gotta remember, that was the cool cheese when he would have sex and get away with it.
And
No, dude,
and-
Hunter, I don't know if you particularly remember, but like after Chumpy said the before it seems like I care I don't, I went a fucking campaign across jumping. I just like I destroyed Chumpy. I'm sure that Chumpy like still had like at least a little bit of hatred from those days for me, just a little bit. But
I feel like I've recovered most of my from those days, at least most.
yeah, I don't think
Uh,
I don't think people really give you the meme anymore.
Yeah, me
I feel like
the moral of the story though is that after the Swan sat us down, we had a bit down fist
what?
and eventually we came to some sort of compromise. I came back in 13, and the only real disagreement I've had with Rob since then about his course was his tournament 15, where I just didn't want to run an impossible and just said to him, I'm not going to compete.
And there you have it, kids. Swantron 97 ended the jump wars. Thank you and good night.
He destroys kids. He destroys kids' innocence, but sometimes puts immense for and shit.
Yeah, I'm still not recovered from that.
I'm still the most toxic person in jumping, but at the same time,
I think I actually got like so sad over jump beef, dude. I don't do that shit anymore, dude. It's so fun.
It will get, but actually, you know what? We're talking about this. This actually kind of leads into the next thing I want to talk about is that jump beef and all that shit. You know, like we've recovered. Like if you think where me, Atlantic, Rod were, however many years ago this was, like 4 or 5 years now, you wouldn't believe it. One of the things I really don't like about all this jump beef that happens these days is just like how long this goes on for. Like how many of these, like the amount of shit that
Your mic cut out.
Given to them. No. I'm using Vulcan just as an example. Vulcan gets a lot of shit, but like he also dishes out a lot of shit. How
Right.
many years has he known some of these people? And like it's just unnecessary bullshit.
I feel like me and Strafe used to not get along well at all, and now I feel like I start to get along with him better.
I think part of it is
Like-
not helped by Vulcan. Like he doesn't actually use his brain and think, oh, I'm arguing with this guy for no reason for like 6 years.
Right.
He just wants to argue because someone else is arguing at him or like criticizing him.
Yeah, I agree.
And this is not
I-
just on Vulcan. This is on everybody. There's all these stupid beefs. Like, I don't want to go back to Joey again, but I think Joey gets so much hate for the use of the word because
The word.
which word?
for like the N word.
Say it out loud. Say it out
What's
loud.
the N word? Which one's the N word?
I'm not. Really,
Which one are you guys?
I will admit this. Whilst I never really criticised Joey in Discord or anything, you know, I did obviously say that what he said was unacceptable. I never went out of my way to like say like, you know, he's a piece of shit or anything like that. But remember, like 6 or 7 years ago, I would play FIFA and get like crazy mad and call the referee and the N word, and nobody gave a shit back then. Like, so
Yeah.
it's just like, whoa, Hunter.
It's, you know,
But you know,
like I
with why Joe gets so much hate off of it is because everyone is just on a fucking boner to hate on, and it's not just Joey. This happens to many people. Hate on Joey because he got good. He did try hard and prank. One that's ever done good at some point in their life, apart from Drago, at some point in their life has practiced like hell, and therefore has fit the category of a tryhard.
oh yeah, the whole try hard movement.
You pass 15 times in a row without practicing. Like,
Yeah.
you could argue, and don't make this a thing, you could argue I am the ultimate tryhard for pulling that shit off. 19 in a row and I don't practice? Like, come on.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I think the big conclusion we can make from this podcast is that Hunter's a tryhard.
Yeah.
yeah, I really wish that the whole try hard movement had just never happened. I don't know who was responsible
I
for
feel
it.
like it's such a
I know there's a
backhanded
good
excuse
chance that
to
it was
suck in a
me.
tournament.
But I don't know. Like,
Okay, whenever everybody bullied Vulcan for it, it was just funny. Let's be real.
at one point, I was a fucking tryhard. At one point, Dan was tryhard. Fucking Hunter here's been a fucking tryhard. Ump's been a tryhard. Smokey's been a tryhard. Fireball's Fucking Pedro's been a
And
tryhard.
the modern, and now it's all the modern competitors. Petrillo got it, although it helped that through a lot of the abuse he was getting, he didn't have a mic. Joey has got it really, like, I think worse than almost anyone else in the history of the tryhard abuse. I've heard Cyrus getting it actually since he started getting good. I've heard Cyrus getting called a tryhard.
I freaking hate that.
It's just such unnecessary shit.
Well, if he's a tryhard,
It's 'cause people
he's still
can't
better
take
than me, and
somebody-
I wish that I was better than him. So
Yeah, no, people just simply cannot take people being better than them.
Yeah, it's pure jealousy.
It's pussy shit.
It's pure jealousy. Like, and it's the polar opposite of what Ninja is all about. But this is all of Halo jumping is based off of Ninja. Ninja is all about supporting each other. Like, if you watch any Sasuke tournaments, including the modern ones, they're all rooting. They all want each other to do well. Yes, okay, during a live run, you'll see people, person clears, the people that are in the party are like, yay, Swan, well done, blah, 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 you know that, yeah, Jumpy, woo! Yeah, Hunter, yay. But outside of, like, a live recording,
It's just one big shit-talking spree.
How many premieres could you look at, and then someone puts a YouTube comment in modern times? How many premieres could you go and look at now, like old tournaments in the last 12 months, and you could go and find a comment in a tournament that Joey did well? Like, Rogue's tournament, the most recent tournament came out where Joey got to the final stage. I'm pretty sure Sonic put a comment in that says something along the lines of, if we've learned anything from this tournament, it's that if you work hard enough to achieve it,
fucking
Jesus Christ.
Sonic
It's a
used to be
pussy
one of
ass
those
one.
guys.
it's such a sly, backhanded comment. It's like congratulations in the loosest sense.
Oh, sorry, I was going to look for that comment. I'm gonna get copyright claimed because of
In
Rog now.
20, yeah, in 21. Well, yeah, whichever tournament you got to the final stage, I'm pretty sure it's 21. I don't think Flame's good for it either, and Flame, like...
It is, baby.
Flame
Let's go.
he was thinking, like, coming into this Rock tournament, where he said he was going to practice like crazy. Even though he, in the past, has, like, and probably said it to Joe, I assume, has called him as it. And all of this, right, it's not just even about tryhard, it's just all of this, like, little belittling, like, I said it last week, I'm going to keep saying it. I'm getting old. I don't want to keep joining Xbox parties where little kids are arguing about the most trivial of things. The big wide world, we're all starving and running out of fuel and oil and money. Who gives a fuck if one person's better than the other?
Yeah.
I think growing up in the jumping community is the best in the jumping community.
Everyone at some point has their peak, and everyone's peak is something different. My peak is maybe being the best competitor ever to not get total victory, and I'm okay with that. Atlantic's peak was maybe like 18 months ago when he got to Rog's final stage. Swan's peak was Swan's SK 30.
Nah, my peak hasn't happened yet.
Good, nice, yeah, good save.
My peak's gonna happen in a solid. When does Smokey's tournament end? Shit.
27th of August.
That's when my peak's gonna hit,
Well, that's
and it's gonna be such a sharp
I don't think
decline
Jumpy's
when I
peak.
go to college.
I don't think Jumpy's
I
peak.
feel it.
No, I feel like if
I get what you're saying, though.
had brought, if I was allowed to bring my
I don't know,
Xbox
but
to college.
all of these little things, sometimes, and this brings me on to my final point that I wanted to talk about. These little things, like, they can be annoying, but ultimately they don't really do anything. They're just little niggles that constantly happen. With
Little
most
what?
common being called a tryhard. Little niggles.
What is the
He just
nickel?
said the N-word.
For the British word.
He just said the N-word.
Plonker?
That's racist.
This is the new N-word.
N-word 2. Oh no. Even worse.
Yeah, it's just...
Hunter said it. I'm putting that in the title.
It's when they develop into This is where it really bothers me. It's going to bring me on to the topic the last thing I wanted to talk about. Yes, Puma says a lot of dumb shit. Yes, he has
Love you, Dan.
Takes, but the amount of shit he gets anytime he joins a party and starts talking about anything, I just feel bad for him. I love him because he's still one of my closest friends, even if I sometimes wonder if the love is reciprocated by him. I love him because his passion for Sasuke is still as good when I first met him. His knowledge of Sasuke, I can't do a quiz. I can't do a quiz against myself. But sometimes back in the day, I used to think he's the next best pick because he probably was. His knowledge of Halo jumping and his love for Halo jumping, maybe it's clearly not as good as it once was, but at one point, my God, he was the heart and soul of Halo jumping. But everyone, just because, he's made some, and I can't defend him, he's made some dumb decisions. He said some really stupid things. He's tried to become a little attention-seeking with comments. He's the Yamada of Halo jumping.
Right.
Is it really necessary to be just so hateful towards a person? I do wonder sometimes if some people actually just flat out blow. I know Irish doesn't get on with my opinion of Irish ones.
I like Irish.
Irish is still one of the nicest guys. We said earlier you think Irish is a bit of an activist style.
Yeah, but I still like him.
But my God, I know Puma does not. The Irish
Yeah, no, and coming from a guy who kind of just had a bit of a thing with Puma earlier, I know Puma personally. Like, Puma's one of my, whenever he's, chilled, just hanging, is one of my better friends, and honestly, like, you got a whole video of me and Puma playing GTA, that's the cool, like, I don't hate Puma. I believe some people do, though.
I do absolutely believe something. And this thing that happened before this stream started, I think Puma, yes, has something wrong with him, because if Vulcan has a filter, Vulcan doesn't have a filter, but you have to work to get Vulcan riled up, to prop some anger, where he will then just go fuck, 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 and just be impossible to have a conversation with. Puma, you just have to flick a switch, and he will be on, he will be off, he will be, and then you would struggle to turn it on, unless you leave the party. And I think some people do go out of their way to rile them, to push buttons.
He goes out of his way to
Yeah, I
push
agree.
my fucking buttons. Well,
I don't know. It's just,
To the point now where, anytime he's in a party, if he offers an opinion about anything, jumping, Sasuke, American football, anything, it gets treated like a hot take. It's a Puma controversial opinion, or it's an opinion.
that's kind of funny, actually.
It's just a guy's opinion. Not every opinion that Puma has is left field or is far right or is just so wacko.
I mean, there's not far right, Swan? LMAO, political joke. Political joke, anybody?
well,
Funny?
brothers, I will say, I am about podcasted out this time. We've been going for about 2 hours. so
Yeah, it's been
I think I'm about
2
done.
hours and 12
It's been
minutes.
good.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
you
gotta
guys will bring me
wrap
on
it
for
up.
another one sometime. So, see you later.
Alright, see you, Swan. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do a quick little conclusion, but did you have anything else you needed to say? Yeah. Which is the alt, the ERAF. Yeah. Right. What he did. Yeah, he's done so many like shady things with his runs, dude. It's insane. Like, I know that Smokey like caught him, and I know that there were things that he like Rog's course that were kind of scuffed and like things like that. What do you mean? Your audio, right? Have you not been this whole time? Okay. Started. It's more than usual. So it's longer than, yeah. So it just started doing that, so we're still good. How long have you been listening to, how long was it since you last? Yeah. Yeah. Alright. In conclusion, Swan will talk about your favorite jumper. He will talk shit about him. Anyways, this has been Chumpy.